Hi Virgo, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for February. I hope you guys are well. I am going to take just a quick second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Virgo out there. So guys, take what resonates for you and just leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating Virgo, you get in where you fit in, even if it's on the other side. But as always, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Virgo? Virgo. All right, Virgo, you are starting out with the Ten of Swords. You have the Strength card and you have the King of Swords in the reverse. So are you dealing with somebody that you feel like is not being honest with you? Perhaps they're not currently talking to you. There's something here with the Ten of Swords about a very painful ending, a feeling of betrayal, like somebody hasn't told you the truth. You're being very strong. You're getting through it. But I do feel like there is definitely a sense of pain and a sense of betrayal. So let me see who's in your energy, Virgo. Show me who is in Virgo's energy. All right, so the person in your energy, we have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Four of Wands, and we have the Six of Swords. This may be somebody you were married to or in a long-term connection. I do feel like this person is, kind of releasing you, letting you go. This is where we see this painful betrayal. You may not be currently divorced, or there could be still some kind of energy that's attaching you to this person, but I do feel like they're trying to release the energy. They're trying to move forward. I do feel like this is somebody that has created a lot of chaos in your life. There's change that's going on with this person, and you're going to hear about this soon if you haven't heard about it. This is somebody who currently is a bit unstable, and I do feel like they're trying to establish their stability. Now, this could also be somebody that you were involved with that is in another relationship as well. Let me see see the energy between you and this person. Yeah, you feel like this person was very deceptive with you. Seven of Swords in the reverse and Four of Swords. Yeah, they're not currently talking to you. I don't feel like you really want to talk to them anyway. I feel like you're kind of keeping to yourself. You don't care to talk to them, but there was something that was deceptive. It created change in your life, and it forced you to make a decision of some sort. Now, this is somebody who can be very cutting. Let me see. They're not currently talking, though. Let me see. They're very much focused on their own stability. Show me what's affecting this connection. And whatever the deception is, you already know about it. It's out in the open. It's not a secret. Five of Swords, King of Wands in the reverse. This person could have been a cheater. King of Wands in the reverse is not a very good energy. It's the energy of somebody who can be a little bit petty. They can be charismatic when they want to be, but at this point they don't. I do feel like this is somebody who currently is not taking any action. They're being very silent. They're working at their own stability. If this is someone from your past, because I do see an ending here, this person could be involved in another connection. But I feel like you're at war with this person and you are determined that you're going to win this war. You've already made that decision. You want truth. You want clarity. You don't feel like this person is providing it. And so you've kind of gone to war here. So I feel like they've receded. They're just trying to, move away from the situation. Let me see the outcome for Virgo and this person. Show me the outcome. You're showing up as being a little bit unpredictable in your actions right now because you're determined, Virgo, that you're going to win at any cost. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, there's some sort of detail that you do need to look at. But I feel like there's a situation between you and this person that just you've realized that it's not working out. You don't want to talk to them. You don't trust them. And I also feel like they're trying to move forward. But it's this energy that I'm seeing that you're not going to let this person just move forward without providing the truth and clarity that you want. Bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Cups in the reverse. That is underlying energy, and it is telling me that, you know, at one point you may have thought this person was wish fulfillment, but things are now turning out in a way that you don't really like. It also can indicate someone who might be, you know, drinking a lot. So if that's you, be very careful, or you could be dealing with somebody that has perhaps an issue with substance abuse. So let's clarify, Spirit-wise, the Ten of Swords here for Virgo. All right, so we have the Death card in reverse, and we have the Ace of Cups. So you've had a painful ending with this person, but there's something about this that's not completely over. I'm not suggesting that you're trying to come back together with this person, because obviously this person has been very deceptive with you and you're aware of it. So you may have gone towards someone new. You could have new love in your life here, but there is something revolving around this past connection that is just not complete. It's not over. Let me see why the Strength card is here. This could also be you pouring this love into yourself. Sometimes the Ace of Cups is a card of self-love. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Six of Swords. So you're moving forward. Yeah, you're addressing issues for yourself. You're moving forward, and it's actually in your best interest to do so. I don't feel like you're moving forward, though, alone. There's still something unresolved with this past person. However, you moving forward is going to bring you a lot of peace, and it took a lot of courage for you to do so. But there's also this energy of you having to, you're still at war with this person. Let me see why the King of Swords is in the reverse. You could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. All right, we have the Four of Cups, and we have the Magician. Yeah, you're ignoring this person. I feel like you're not speaking to them. You're ignoring them. You've learned the lessons from the past, and I feel like new love has been presented to you. And having learned the lessons from the past, you're able to recognize that love. There is a caution here, Virgo, for you not to focus so much on a past situation that you miss the love that is currently in your life, because you've manifested that love. And I see it here. I see it here. So it also could indicate that you might have some trust issues, you know, with other people, that's based upon the way this past relationship has gone. You're also manifesting, you know, truth and clarity. You're manifesting the love that you want in your life. But I do feel like you want the clarity from this person as well. You're going to hold them accountable is what I'm seeing. Let me look at their energy. Spirit, why is the Four of Pentacles in reverse? I feel like you at some point shared a home with this person. The Devil, you could be dealing with a Capricorn, and the Ace of Swords. Yeah, when they do communicate with you, because I feel like at some point you got the truth about the situation. When they did communicate, it was very toxic. This person basically said, look, we're done here. There's no stability in this connection. I need stability in my life. And, you know, we both know where we stand on this, but they're in a very toxic energy here. And then after this communication, they withdrew. They totally withdrew. And you have no trust for this person whatsoever. Why is the Four of Wands here? They're in a very toxic energy still, but they like to present themselves as telling the truth. Why is this Four of Wands here? Show me the Four of Wands. Three of Swords. and the Four of Coins. Yeah, they're very guarded. They're not taking action towards you. They're not communicating with you. It's the energy of I said what I said and now we're done. But this person actually holding on to you is painful for them. So I feel like they're, you know, it looks like, Virgo, it looks like this person is with someone else. And they actually, they may have cheated with this person. For some of you, there was third-party energy here because they were still holding on to you, and yet they're involved with someone else here. Yeah. If you were married to this person or in a long-term relationship, they're telling this other person that you really hurt them, that you were not faithful, that you were playing around on them. I do see that they're very guarded, and they're basically saying, Virgo, you are the one who hurt me by moving forward. Let me see why the Six of Swords is here. I don't feel like this person has totally released you. All right, we have Temperance, Sagittarian energy, and we have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, this person is walking away. They're trying to balance out their feelings and their emotions, and I do feel like they are trying to heal. See, holding on to you is hurting this person, and they are still somewhat holding on to you. So they are having to walk away. They're having to, you know, leave this behind. I feel like you're ignoring them. You don't want anything else to do with them. It looks like you have new love in your life. They could be involved with someone else here too. And I feel like they're telling that person, you know, Virgo, you know, cheated on me. There was third-party energy here, and that I don't want anything to do with Virgo anymore. There's some bitterness that's here with this person, and they've kind of been holding on to that bitterness. But there's some toxic energy that's here. And when they do communicate with you, it seems very toxic, although they want to say that they're telling the truth. So they feel like they really have no choice but to walk away from this connection because holding on to you is painful for them. And I do feel like they are trying to heal. So let's see. Let me see the energy between Virgo and this person. Because there's something unfinished here. There seemed to be like a, oh, well, there could have been third party because you may have had this new love come into your life before this connection was completely over for some of you. But I do feel like there's something here that's not quite complete between you and this person. We have the Strength card in reverse, sign of Leo. We have the World, and then we have the Six of Pentacles. All right, so you're trying to find the courage within yourself to basically balance things out. Even though there was deception. Now, for some of you, there could have been deception on your side because that's where I'm seeing the third-party energy, and this person's just not over that. They're carrying a grudge. They're actually rather bitter. But regardless, the connection between the two of you, there was some toxic energy here. There is definitely a need. Each of you individually need to be looking at yourself, working on yourself. In your instance here, Spirit is indicating that you need to work on self-love and balance. In their energy, there's some toxic energy with regard to communication. You know, not being completely truthful about, you know, things, and yet maintaining that they are. So you both individually need to be, you know, working on your individual issues. I feel like you wanted to balance this situation out with this person. There could be finances or money that's involved here. The courts could even be involved with that because we do see the legal symbol here. And I do feel like that's all going to balance out. But you may be worried that it's not. There's a fear. There's a fear that things are not going to balance out. There's fears that this new connection is going to wind up with deception in it as well. Now, in their energy, again, what they're saying is This is over and this is done. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I've let you go. I've released you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. I'm moving on. And it's kind of this resolute energy, but it could be delivered in a very toxic manner. So let me see what's affecting this connection. Show me what's affecting this connection between Virgo and this person. All right. We have the Hangman. We have the Ten of Swords reversed. Now you had the Ten of Swords. We have the Three of Coins reversed. And we have Justice in reverse. So for a lot of you, there's a legal issue here. That's what's unresolved. And it could be regarding finances or money. So what's affecting the situation is you're waiting. You're both waiting to heal from this. You're both waiting for this to be over, to be done. For all these, so somebody was deceitful. Somebody likely had third-party energy. They're saying it was you, Virgo. And if not, it was them, and they're just not being truthful. But the cards are telling me that while they're very toxic, they're maintaining that you brought in third-party energy, and they can't get past it. They can't get over that. They're actually rather bitter about that. So what's affecting the connection is there's a fight that's going on here. There's a fight. They're not really doing much here, and you're hostile about it. So there might be something that they could be delaying something legal. We have Justice here. Now you could be dealing with a Libra or a Pisces, but what's happening is there's something to do with justice. This person feels very put out. They feel like you did them wrong. And so therefore, they're delaying this by not taking action. They're delaying something, and it's keeping something in a legal standpoint. And if it's not legal, it's spiritual. So because they're feeling like they didn't get justice in the situation, so therefore they're not going to do anything. They're not going to assist in closing this out. What they're basically saying is, I told you I don't want to talk to you. I told you I don't want anything to do with you. And they're kind of staying in this toxic energy. So on your side, you're wanting to move forward. You're trying to move forward with your life. You may have somebody new in your life and you want peace. But instead of getting peace, you're still dealing with this collapsed foundation here. Either you or the other person may have broken a soul contract or even a physical contract if you were married to this person. And I feel like there's a need for healing to happen here in order for you to be able to move forward and then resolve all of this. And for some reason, it's taking a long time for that healing to come in. And it has to do with betrayal. That's at the root of it. It's dealing with betrayal. So I do feel like that healing is coming, but it is going to take quite some time. Let me see your outcome. Show me the outcome at the end of this week. All right, King of Pentacles reversed, the Nine of Swords, and the Four of Swords. So you're both experiencing a lot of anxiety over this situation that didn't work out. For some of you, what is being held up has something to do with finances and money, particularly if it's a divorce or a legal situation. But regardless, you're both worrying, you're both losing sleep. There's a conflict here that just is, you're fighting to win, and they're trying to basically say, I want nothing to do with you. I'm not going to cooperate with you. You did me wrong. So by not doing anything and holding on to that, they're delaying the process. It's leading to a lot of anxiety. It's leading to the situation not, completing, not working out. It is going to eventually work out. It's difficult for me to say how it's going to work regarding, who it will favor. But what I do see is that due to deception, whether it was on your side or theirs, there will be losses here. That's a balancing of the karma. If you were not honest and direct with this person, if you broke some sort of contract with this person, then there will be karma that happens. Now, will it end the situation? Yes. After a lot of anxiety, after a lot of worry and stress, and it would likely end with a situation that you may not get what you feel you deserve financially. There will be financial losses or a loss of stability. In their energy, they're trying to maintain their stability here, but they're doing it in such a way that says, you know, I'm just not going to do anything, and it's delaying everything. I also feel like this person is trying to walk away from any responsibility here, walk away from any legal situations, and basically they're avoiding. They're not dealing with anything. Why? Well, because they are trying to heal. Is it a maladaptive way? Yes, because they are in a little bit of toxic energy here. So I do feel like this person is maintaining silence. I feel like they've walked away from the situation. They're saying this would never work out, and they are holding you responsible. They could be involved in another connection where they're basically telling this other person it was Virgo's fault, Virgo did this, Virgo did that. But I feel like they're trying to basically avoid dealing with the situation at all, which I can see is causing you a lot of anxiety. It definitely is. So it is going to end. It's a situation that is not working out. It is going to end, but there will be delays. In the meantime, you need to be focusing on learning the lessons from the past and focusing on manifesting stability and manifesting your financial, stability as well. So bottom of the deck, we do have the Three of Wands in the reverse. And this tells me that the wait is almost over. This is a card of waiting, but in the reverse it's telling me that the wait is almost over, but it may not turn out the way you want it to. All right. So let's pull some oracles. Let's see if we get any further messages for Virgo or the cross watcher. You. All right, let's see what we have. We have the dragonfly. It says, be lighthearted, finding out, things coming to light, adapt, change, and heal. So, be lighthearted. This is beginning to change, and you have to adapt with it. We have love, unconditional love, self-love. Remember, we talked about that. Passion, affection, and attraction. I do feel like you're involved with somebody else here. And then we have soulmates, soul connection, partnership, agreement, and soul contract. So you may have run into a soulmate, and that might be where your emotional energy is going right now. All right, I do hope that this has been helpful for you, Virgo. If you've resonated with this reading, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video if you get the opportunity. And until I see you in your next reading, Virgo, know that you are loved, and namaste.